Hey, chess fans, and hey, retro computer fans. If you're a fan of a splendid game of chess, that lovely strategy game, and you like your old retro UK computers, why not try Colossus Chess for the Commodore 64 and chess for the ZX Spectrum, the UK's most famous and best-selling home computer. But for now, this is the Commodore 64 version of Colossus Chess, which didn't sell as many as the Spectrum, of course, because that was cheaper. But if you just have a system lying around or in your loft or someone gives you a Commodore, keep it and why not have a game of chess? Just a simple game of chess, no fuss, no internet, no bots to worry about, you know, no lines of computer code, just a simple game of chess. So it's a nice looking game, as you can see. It plays quite quickly. The main problem is you can't choose black and you can't choose your level, so it's stuck on the same level. I don't know what that is. And also it can be a bit pernickety and fussy. You can't type in, for example, E2, E4, and then press enter. You have to go to your piece, press enter, hope that it selects it, and then move it to the square you want, and then press enter again to release it. It can be a little bit fiddly, but as you can see, this is quite a nice looking game. I've turned the audio down so I can just concentrate on the game. Now, I'm not the best chess player in the world. I like to experiment with openings and just try different things. But I do understand the fundamentals, and I've won a few games online. But in no way am I a GM or anything like that. It's just a fun game for me. I also like games like Klondike, card game, and Tetris. So yeah, Scrabble. So I like chess too. It's a fun game. So yeah, this is my opening. Maybe not be the best, but I brought the knight out there to c3, taking up pawn on d5. Of course, that's protected by the knight on f6 and also the pawn on e6. In chess, you have to have multiple options, don't you, to protect the square. And I do prefer going black for some reason in chess. I don't know, maybe I'm just not good at driving a win playing white. But yes, it says illegal move then, because sometimes it doesn't register what you're trying to do. So I was trying to select the knight and get it to f3, but it keeps saying it's an illegal error. It's because it hasn't registered the click I pressed. It's much easier on the Spectrum. You can just type in d2, d4, and it works flawlessly. But this probably has better visuals, better looking pieces than the Spectrum. And we'll get to that game in a few moments. For all you guys who know all your openings and you're experts, that's great. I'm just having fun, enjoying the game. What I normally do here, I normally go c2, which supports the knight on c3. Sorry, d2, which supports c3. And then, of course, once I move my queen, I can castle queenside. Or if I can get that knight out, I can castle kingside. It really depends. How long have you been playing chess? What do you enjoy about it? Do you like to play online? Do you play using retro computers? Recently, the Spectrum was released by Retro Games UK, a very, very fine company, and it's a 1 to 8K compatible computer. And of course, there was a Commodore full size and a mini console that came out about 4 or 5 years ago, and they're both very good. In fact, the large size Commodore 64 is basically a perfect replica of the original. So yeah, the retro gaming scene and the retro gaming scene for classic board games like chess is alive and kicking. So hey guys, this is the uh, ZX Spectrum. Do you remember the old Sinclair ZX Spectrum from the 80s? Yeah, this is a Spectrum game, and I'd say it's pretty damn good. You can use notation like G2, G4. You know, it always hits the mark when you try to select your piece. And as you can see, this game plays uh, pretty quick. Um, I put it on level 5 for this video, so it kind of slows down after a few moves because it's getting intense. But the presentation is okay, maybe not as pretty as the Commodore, but and just basic black and white squares. That's to reduce memory usage, but this is a pretty damn fine game. You can see that the notation is on the left. You can also choose your level. I chose 5. I probably should have picked a lower level to make it go a bit quicker. And as you can see there, I'm just getting my knight out on the F file to F6. Yeah, it's a Scion makes some great games for the Spectrum. They also made Scrabble. They were a very good company in the 80s. Do you have a ZX Spectrum? Do you have a Commodore 64? What do you think about retro games? The company Retro Games UK brought out a Spectrum called the Spectrum, and it's a fine thing. It supports 1 to 8K, so if you have a few of them games, and if you have original, do you play chess on it? If not, why not? And as I said for the Commodore, it's just a fun game. No internet required, no messing around with bots and the like, just have a bit of fun. Don't need to memorize 1,000 lines. Just play as you see. Here I'll bring out the bishop f1 to d6, which is develops pieces and also allows you to castle king side immediately. Maybe not the best opening, but it kind of gets you used to playing chess if you've never played it before. I'm not an expert. But as I said, this is really a review of these Commodore and the Spectrum versions of um, chess. And as you can see, it's got the lettering on the bottom of the board as well, and the numbers, and on the left hand side, the level, which move are on, and the notation, such as G8, F6. And I believe it will also do the castling, so when you go king side or queen side, it'll go 0, 0, 0 or 0, 0, which doesn't, as far as I know, doesn't do it very well on the Commodore. Maybe we can see that if one of us castles white, could probably do it for us, because he just needs to move his bishop from f1, but will he do it? As you can see, it's got very, very neat graphics. I've turned the sound down. It's a fine game. There's also a nice 16K chess, which plays absolutely blinding speed. That's one of my favorites too. But this is a pretty good game, apart from the color, black and white. The Commodore one is black and blue, which there isn't much difference, I suppose. And it's kind of rudimentary pieces. I think the Commodore ones look a bit better. But this is kind of neat. What do you think of the ZX Spectrum computer? What do you think of chess? Are you bored of it? Have you recently started playing? Are you just a computer fan, but you're thinking of getting into chess? What's White's best strategy from this position, from this opening position? Now remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just playing to have fun, to learn. What's your level? What do you like to do in chess? What are you trying to do? You're trying to be a master, or just, spend a bit of time on the computer? Do you like playing real people, or do you like playing online? Have you ever used a Spectrum? Have you ever used a Commodore? Do you use an Amstrad? Do you use a PC? And so yeah, so we're on level 5 on this Master Chess by Cyan for the ZX Spectrum, and it will work with the recent Spectrum by Retro Games.